Hi, my name is JD and today we're going to be checking out IK Multimedia's Tonix software. So what I'll do is we'll just do a little 2-minute track so you can hear what it sounds like in a mix, and then we'll come back to it and then we'll get into it. So this is the track. Right now that's out of the way, what I'm going to do is we're going to go through the Tonix software and basically how I captured and what I did. How dare you? And yeah, see if it sounds any good. So the first thing is I recorded everything with this Washburn Solar. That went into the DI box, which is the Walrus Canvas. That went straight into the audio interface, so that's been unaffected by anything. And basically I use that to capture the Tonix. Then it goes into my rig, which is Boss Noise Suppressor, Keeley Noble Screamer, into the Gower Modded Marshall, into the Fire Power Station, Engel 2x12 with a Neumann TLM102 and an SM57. And that was basically the whole rig. So over the past couple of days I've been trying to figure out the best way to do this video, and my brain has just exploded because my screen capture software is not working and I can't record the audio that you're hearing now and record it would have to be a pre-recorded Tonix thing. So the only way that I've been able to come up with it for now is I am recording 2 tracks. So I'm recording my rig, which is this. So that's the rig that I used, and none of the settings have been changed, and I'm recording that, and I am actually recording a DI signal at the same time. So I'm just going to see if this works now. I've got a little screen capture tool which is called I hope that's just paused that. Yeah, it's just paused it. Has it paused it or are we still recording? Yeah, we're still recording. So I've just started the screen capture software and basically you can see what I'm doing on screen. So we'll just go to that now. So this top one is basically my rig, which is the rig you've just heard. And this one underneath is the DI signal. So at the moment I'm recording the DI signal. This one underneath here is just my audio. I know it says lead, but hello, yeah, it's my audio, my voice. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to pause this for a second while I put Tonix on to this DI, and then it will. Actually, no, I don't think I need to. Well, we'll get it up and see anyway. Let's see if I can. Right, I can't add the Tonix software yet. Tell you what, let's just pause the screen capture software. Right, we're back. The audio's back anyway. I've kept this recording so you know I'm not lying or anything anyway. So the screen capture software is recording this. So we've got Tonix up here. And this is the amp capture that where is it? Modded Marshall, there we go. And I don't know if it's just because it was a complex rig, but it was basically, I had to put the cab on it as well. So this is the capture or profile or whatever that I made. So I can't really show you anything else on this for now. But what I'm going to do is, let's get the last screen for a second. I am going to, in post, put the Tonix, which is on there now. I will write it down, bounce it down, whatever you call it. And on screen, I will tell you when I'm using the Tonix and when I'm using the my rig. And I'm just going to switch between them. So I know it's a lot of talking, but this is the best way I can figure out how to do it. So now I'm just going to do some chugging and I will switch between the two rigs in post and let you know when the Tonix is on and when my rig's on. But for me now in the room, I can only hear the rig, so I'm just going to be chugging through my rig. So anyway, I hope that makes sense. Right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to I do apologise for the noise, I'll try and cut it out. But while we're here, I'm just going to have a little go with the JM2 and we'll do the same thing. We'll switch between my rig and the Tonix. This is in D standard. So now that you've heard that, that's basically all I can do with comparing my rig with the Tonix. So in the next part of the video, what I'm going to do is we'll do some more screen capture stuff, and I'm going to show you what I did for that little song and see if we can get, or how I got even closer to my rig using other software. I know it's not ideal, but basically I'll show you how I did everything. So we're going to pause the video for now and then I'll come back. Right, so what I'm going to do now is we're going to go into the screen capture. I'm going to show you the song that I recorded. Now, because I'm actually recording my vocals on this actual track, it's going to keep moving. I can't figure out a way. I mean, I could use my phone to record the vocals just for this part, but anyway. So everything's muted at the moment and you're not going to hear anything, but I'm just going to show you basically what I did. So all these top ones, so this one is my rig and underneath is the DI track, and then we've got left 100, left 80, but they're not actually, they're all panned. I'll show you, they're all panned 100, 100 to the left. Some of them are panned in the middle, that's just the leads, and then on the right hand side obviously the panned 100. So we've basically got, I cut this in sections so you can see it, plus it was a lot easier to record because it's a difficult song for me to record this. So this is the song, this is the left, these are the right tracks, and then these are the leads, and these are just the centre tracks. So as you can see, everything underneath it has got its own DI track, and all I did was I just muted all my rig once I'd recorded it all, and then I just put Tonix on all the DIs, and it was exactly the same. I'm just going to show you the processing that I put on. So this blue one and this grey one are just the drums. You've got the drum and the drum reverb track. So we've got guitars here and the guitar lead. All I've got is just a bit of Pro Q, which is cutting at 10k, and I think it was, can't see my cameras in where. What's that cutting at? 45 hertz, and I think I'm cutting a bit of 150 hertz out, yeah. And that's exactly the same on the lead bus, and it was the same EQ and everything has been applied to my track and the Tonix track. So, and then on the master bus, I've got my Sound ID software, which is just SonarWorks, and I had ozone on, which was I just used as a maximizer, excuse me, to bump the volume up. And there is a few EQ things that it was doing, but it's been done on both. All the processing has been done exactly the same on both tracks. I didn't just EQ one, then do another one. I literally just recorded the whole song, did the EQing and basically bumped the volume up, and then I just swapped a bead with the tonics. So that's how I did that. And yeah, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pause the video again. I'm going to save this audio, and then we'll come back in and I'll show you how to get even better sounds from the Tonics if you've got software. So we'll be back in a sec. Right now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how I got the tones for the song. So you might have already guessed it, but what I did, I'm going to put this on screen now and I'm going to show you. So, oh, it's not going to bloody see. I'll see if I can put them there. Right, I don't know why it won't let me, but if you can see these in this corner here, we have 4 tracks. This top one, what I did is I did my rig and then I used Tonex and then I used FabFilter Match EQ on the Tonex track to see if I can match it even closer to my rig. And then underneath that, I used another Match EQ, but this time from Ozone, and I used that on the Tonex capture song to see if I can get it to sound more like my rig. And then this one that says Tonex is just the Tonex, and then the one underneath it is actually my rig. So what I did for that song, the actual intro one that I did, if you can see here, I'm going to have to try and zoom in. It's probably going to take me ages. But what I did is I EQ'd snippets from each bit. So every like 4 or 5 seconds. So if you look on the screen, the first 2 blocks are about 4 seconds each. Then you've got like 10 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 seconds, 2 seconds, and then like 5 seconds. It's hard to explain this, but if you understand, you understand. So basically, every couple of seconds, I was altering what you were hearing. And that's what I used. So basically, that's how the song came out. So what I'm going to do now is, I might leave it on this, and then because I can't be asked to record it again. So we're just going to do a conclusion. So I think the Tonex software is really, really good. I think it sounds very close to my amp, which is surprising. I wasn't expecting it, but I wanted to hear it through my rig, and the reason being is that, like, when you go on other people's rigs, you can't tell if it. I mean, you can tell if it sounds good or not, but you just can't tell if it's good. Now, I can't remember. I think it's Sonic Studios, or forget me. I'll put his name on screen. John, I think his name is. He's just done a video about the Helix, and wait there. Yeah, they're all muted, so it's not going to come through. He's just done a video about the Helix PV5150 preset and see if it sounds any good against a real 6505. And if you watch the video, you'll be like, yeah, it sounds almost identical. And this, I reckon, with a bit of tweaking, if I can get it a bit more, use the advanced setting, I really do think I could get this to sound exactly like my rig. So what does that say? Well, I don't think I will be using it, and not for the reason you think, but I don't need it. And this is my problem with it. I've made that capture and it's great. If I actually had the Tonex pedal, I could go and take that to somewhere and I could just use that. So I 100% get why this product is here. Obviously, this is the software, and maybe late at night I could use my sound without disturbing anyone, because that is a bit of an issue. But for actual recording, it's much easier for me to use my rig. Just recording a DI signal underneath my track, and then you've got to, I know you've just got to add the Tonex plugin to the DI signal, but with mine, I don't need to. It's done. Turn it off before it overheats. You don't need to. You basically just record and you go. Now I know you're printing to tape or whatever they call it. You can't change your sound, and later you can change it. And I could actually reamp with the DI box, but I just find the whole process. It's great for studio engineers because they're trying to get sounds, but I'm happy with the sound I'm getting. I'm not going to change it, and if I am going to change it, I'm just going to tweak it on the fly per day. If one day I want a bit more bass, I'll have a bit more bass. So the Tonex is really, really good, and if you have no money, although I think this is about 300 quid. Is it 300? It might be 200 quid. But I think if you buy the actual pedal, I think you get the Tonex software with it, so I would do that, because then, is it a game changer? Because somebody in the comments of one of my other videos, might have been my last video, said I should check out the Neural Amp Modeler. So I might do a video and comparing the Tonex profile to a Neural Amp Modeling one, because apparently that's supposed to sound even better. But it comes back to the whole thing is, I just don't think I'm going to use it because I actually have the rig. And although it is close, it's 90% there, 95, whatever. It's not 100%. And like I said again, I'm going to use this phrase a lot. If you've got 100%, why would you use anything less when you can, apart from convenience? So, what to take away from it? The Tonex is good. The hype is real, but I do think you've got to get your own sounds. And then, like with that Sonic Studio, I think it's Sonic Studios, I'll put his name up again. When you're comparing the Line 6 PV5150, he was recommending putting in the effects loop of a 5150, and this is where the issue comes. Yeah, it sounds 100% like it, or 99.9. But then, what's the point of it? What's the point of putting a Line 6 model into the return of a 5150 when you've got a 5150? And I have this Marshall, so I'm just going to use this. Now I get it, if you've not got the Marshall, it'll be great for you. If I put it on the Tonex Cloud or whatever it's called, you can download it and listen to it. You might be impressed, but you might not be, because this is what I was on about in my other video. Ola put one out, and to be honest, people put them out, and I've listened to most of them, and they just don't sound very good. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because I'm used to my sound, but I'm listening to these people that have actually put them on the Tonex site, and they just don't sound good to me, and I don't know what it is. So maybe someone can tell me. Maybe it's just, I don't know, me. But anyway, the video's getting quite long now, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it come across well, because it's not how I wanted it to go this. What I wanted to do was basically go Tonex on the fly, let you listen to it, and it'd be live, but I just can't figure out a way to do it. I also wanted to do a video, or include this in the video, and I might do this, but this won't be So what I can actually do now is, because I've got a DI box, and I've got a line out of the Friat power station, which is basically just a line out of the amp, but obviously after it. So I could effectively record a DI signal, my actual amp in the cab, my actual amp without a cab. So basically them three things. And then what I can do is compare my rig with my cab. I compare using my amp, then using the line out of the Friat power station, I could send that into an IR, a cab IR, which would be the impulse response that I've made of my cab. We could compare that. And then I could reamp my rig, because reamping does change the tone ever so slightly. This is why I've never really been a big fan of reamping. Now we're talking 1-2%, but it is different. If I A/B straight, did a null test against the actual me playing and a reamped tone, there is a slight difference. It's very, very, and I'm talking very, 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 very small, but it's a percent, and it's a percent that's not making it 100% the same. Same with the impulse response of my cab. If I get time, I'll put this at the end of the video. I did put it in the video previously. I did an impulse response of my cab versus the real, and like I say, there's about a 10% difference. But all these percents add up to the actual sound, and using the software and the impulse response, this is why I don't use them. For me, they take away small percentages of the sound, and if you take enough away, you end up with not I'm not going to say a bad sound, because I don't think what I got from the Tone X is a bad sound whatsoever. I think it's a really good sound, but it's not the full sound. It's not the 8K, it's the 4K, even though you probably can't even see 8K. I think your eyes can only see 5 or 6K anyway. But I'm talking about TVs here, not amps. But anyway, I am chatting shit now. So I am going to go, because this video is quite long, and I'm going to edit it. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you got what I was trying to come across. But anyway, I shall see you on the next one. Have fun.